Hello, MCU fans. Today we're going to talk about the exciting news that the Incredible Hulk distribution rights have finally come back to Disney. That's right. We learned yesterday that Universal has now lost the distribution rights and they've come home to Disney. And we also learned that Incredible Hulk was going to show up on Disney Plus. Really exciting. So, sorry, Universal. No more. It's come back to Disney. Of course, as many people know, in the mid-90s, Marvel as a company was not doing well, and they sold off several of their properties. Obviously, Incredible Hulk to Universal, Spider-Man to Sony, and Fantastic Four and X-Men to Fox. Now, the Fox rights have returned back to Disney, and now Universal's rights have returned, but we're never getting Spider-Man back. There's no way Sony will ever let that lapse, at least that's my guess. But nonetheless, very exciting news that Incredible Hulk has returned home. So let's dive right in and talk about all the reasons this is important for the future of the MCU. So first of all, the Incredible Hulk has had a very big impact on the MCU. I mean, obviously it introduced the Hulk, and Bruce Banner was recast, yes, but it introduced the Hulk, major character. But it also introduced General Ross, who then became Secretary Ross, who likely now is Vice President Ross, because soon he's going to become President Ross and then President Red Hulk. Wow. I mean, major character. And he showed up first in this movie. We're going to see Betty again. She's going to show up in Cap 4. We're going to see the leader return. He's going to show up in Cap 4. We've already seen Blonsky return. As well as the Abomination, in She-Hulk, and I'm sure we're going to be seeing him again. And then think about the major impact of bringing the Super Soldier Serum, which of course is what Blonsky was pumped with, among other things, into the modern age. I mean, no longer in the 40s with Captain America, now we were seeing people continue to experiment with it in the modern age. Think about all the times that's appeared in other storylines. I mean, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Civil War, She-Hulk. It continues to be a major plot point. So, all of this from the Incredible Hulk, that's pretty impressive for otherwise a often forgotten movie in the MCU. So yeah, very nice to have it home on Disney Plus. All right, don't forget though, we got everybody else, right? But we also got Mr. Harrington because they have basically retconned the same actor who appeared in a very blink-and-you-miss-it role in The Incredible Hulk with his pizza to have been the future, or the previous, but soon-to-be, Mr. Harrington, the beloved Mr. Harrington from the Spider-Man series. So, yeah, hey, if it wasn't enough that we got everybody else, we also got Mr. Harrington. Gotta love it. So, where did Disney Plus place it on the timeline? No big surprise. They placed it between Iron Man 2 and the one shot with Coulson. And then, of course, that immediately follows with Thor, which finishes out the concept of Fury's Big Week, which we'll talk more about in just a second. But yeah, this placement wasn't really a big surprise because while it's finally appearing on Disney Plus in U.S. regions, it has been on Disney Plus in the past. The Direct.com loves to update this major graphic with all the timeline. And notice there is Incredible Hulk in the second row over on the left. This is a graphic from like summer of 2022. So Incredible Hulk has appeared on Disney Plus in certain regions. Now it's finally seemingly appearing everywhere. Let me know if it's in your region or not. I know a few regions still don't have Spider-Man Homecoming. It didn't show up. It's very weird. But anyway, no big surprise because we kind of had a hint this is where they were going to put it. So when does it happen in the timeline? Well, the movie does show us a date, March 24th of 2007, in the rules of engagement of how to, engage with Banner and hopefully have him not turn into the Hulk. So that kind of implies 2007, but we're going to see that was majorly retconned. So interesting date, but yeah, you can ignore that date pretty much. Remember, the opening of the movie does show us a flashback to Bruce Banner becoming the Hulk. So it's really interesting. His first movie that's seemingly in the MCU doesn't even have his origin. It's a flashback to his origin. And in fact, we do get an indication of how long ago that flashback occurred. Because in the movie, Ross mentions he's made it 5 years and got across borders without making any mistakes. So 5 years he's been pursuing Banner. Wild. Not only do we not get his origin in the movie, we just get a flashback, but it's a flashback from 5 years previous. So what is that all about, right? Well, Marvel did pretty much canonize it when they released a timeline around the time of when Avengers came out, and they basically harmonized all their movies up to that point, phase one, and told us where everything fit in. And in this case, note that they're saying 5 years BIM, which in this timeline, I Am Iron Man was the 0 point, which makes sense, right? And so anything before that is BIM, before I Am Iron Man. And they're saying 5 years before Stark's declaration of I Am Iron Man, that is when Banner was irradiated with gamma radiation. So, okay, that makes sense. That's what they said in the movie as well. And now here Marvel is saying yes. But why 5 years? Why do we think they did that? Well, my guess is they were initially going to tie the two movies together, the 2003 Ang Lee Hulk as well as the 2008 Incredible Hulk. Okay, I mean, it makes sense because that would be 5 years between when they were both released. But if you watch the Ang Lee Hulk movie, there's just no way it's canon. And in fact, interestingly enough, it has not yet shown up on Disney+. I don't know if that was intentional, if they don't want it to show up, or if it will show up later, but right now it's not there. So it's very unlikely this will be considered canon. Let me know what you think. I mean, there are some ways to tie the two movies together, but there's just so much that doesn't work. But I do think originally, at least, Universal and potentially Marvel were trying to tie the two movies together. Now, we do see that the reason the 2007 date just doesn't work is that Marvel retconned Incredible Hulk to not be around the time frame of the Iron Man movie, but instead to be more around the time of Iron Man 2. It was a part of something called Fury's Big Week. So notice on the bottom there, they literally break down day and night, day and night, day and night, the way the three movies, Iron Man 2, Incredible Hulk, and Thor, all tie together. So this is why I'm saying that 2000 date, throw that out the window. They moved it forward with Fury's Big Week. And as I mentioned, Iron Man 2, Thor, and Hulk, those are the three movies. But you might say, okay, do the movies actually canonize this, or is this just some cutesy concept that fans have come up with and Marvel put in a timeline? No, they actually do canonize this concept because Iron Man 2 officially retcons Incredible Hulk. Notice, this is the reporter, and this is from the Incredible Hulk movie, where she's talking about the incident at Culver University, where he hulks out and fights Blonsky, basically almost kills Blonsky. Well, notice, this same reporter is then seen giving a live report on Iron Man's monitors in Iron Man 2. So officially, yes, they just pulled Incredible Hulk out of a 2007 time frame and into the same week as Iron Man 2 and Thor. So pretty cool. Then when is this Fury's Big Week happening? Oh, there's been so many debates on that, and I've talked about it in other videos, but basically at either 2010 or 2011, it seems. Well, if the draft timeline pages that have been released so far from the new timeline book are accurate and not going to be changed, their draft, they could be changed, it looks like Marvel is saying 2010. That's when the Hulk faced Abomination. And I'm okay with that. I kind of like 2011 a little better myself, but 2010 has a lot of significance. And then notice also in the upper left-hand corner there, they kind of don't want to go into exactly when he became the Hulk. I don't know why. They went with mid-2000s, but that would be the 5 years again. So really, we're probably talking 2005, 2006. Hopefully, when they put the official book out, they'll give us a year. I don't know why they wouldn't do that. But nonetheless, it certainly looks like 2010. And that works with a line from Avengers, because Avengers, which we know is in 2012, Black Widow says you've been more than a year without an incident. All right, that fits. Again, I kind of like it in 2011 a little better, but it's hard to argue with this line and now with the timeline book. So I'm fine. If they want it in 2010, I'm totally fine with that. So how are these movies tied together? Well, I did a separate video on Fury's Big Week, so if you want all the details, check that out. But I was just going to mention two quick things. First of all, from a standpoint of how much of the movies happen before we get to them all happening at the same time, half at least of Iron Man 2 already occurs, a good portion of Hulk, and only a little bit of Thor. And then we reach this Fury's Big Week concept, which notice if you look at day 1 through day 7 and how the scenes go back and forth between the movies, it's crazy. I mean, it's literally crazy. Back and forth between Iron Man 2, Thor, then Hulk, then Iron Man 2, etc. We even get the one shot with Coulson thrown in the middle there on day 3. So I hope now that Incredible Hulk is finally on Disney Plus, that they will give us a Fury's Big Week cut. Come on, Marvel. Don't put it on the timeline. You don't have to do that. Put it under special stuff or whatever you want. But edit these 3 movies together and give us a supercut. That would be awesome. That would be way awesome. But even more exciting than the premise of a supercut, which I would love, please do it. I am even more excited about the fact that I think for sure we are going to get a World War Hulk movie. There's just no doubt anymore, right? I mean, Disney has the rights. They can finally make it a movie. They've been unable to make a Hulk movie up until now because, again, well, they could make one, but they'd have to work with Universal. Now they don't have to work with Universal. We're getting one. We're getting one. Let me know what you think in the comments if you think we're getting one. But I am 100% certain we're getting one. The only question is when. I did a video just the other day on the slate and where things might fit in that slate, and it's hard to find a spot for Incredible Hulk until at least 2006, maybe 2007, or sorry, 2006, 2007, wow, 2026 and 2027. So the question is, will we even get it before Secret Wars? I hope so. It'd be kind of cool to see a Raging Hulk in Secret Wars. But if not, maybe we get it afterwards. So again, let me know in the comments, what do you think? When might we see a World War Hulk movie? And you can go watch that Slate video again. You'll see I do have a place where I think it might happen, but it's just really hard to predict at this point. So there you go. That is all the exciting news that is going to come as a result of Universal finally losing the rights to Hulk and Marvel getting it back. So also, as I always mention, we do have a Discord server, and notice in this case, we're literally talking about making this very video as we speak. So if you'd like to be part of the conversation, please join. I will have a pinned comment with invite to the server. Also, if you don't mind, like this video, subscribe if you haven't already. You can check out more content, and we can all continue to enjoy the ever-growing, ever-changing Marvel Cinematic Universe.